this is Genein from Alumni360, and I am with Miss Brenda, who is a senior this year. It's her third year with the program. How are you, Brenda?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
Great. So I just wanted to just speak with her and just talk about a few things about Alumni360, but particularly about your financial journey. When I met you, you were, when I brought you into the program, you were a 10th grader. And you said that, what did you feel like when I came over your house the first time?
Wow, okay. Well, when you came over to my house for the first time, I was shocked to have you here because I didn't know you were coming. But I saw you coming like a guardian angel, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because as a sophomore, I had a 4.2 GPA, so college was on my mind, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. And I knew that God sent you to help me on that journey.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so yes, you were just placed on my heart. It's like, I should go talk to the internalizes. So with that, you know, finances is a huge passion of mine, and I even say I don't think you're really free until you're financially free. And just because there's just such a mastery and such a weight lifted off your shoulders when you have your finances under control and you actually know what's going on and you know which questions to ask, right? And what the impetus of the program was student loans and making sure you guys knew you had different resources besides just taking out student loans, but that should have been the last option in addition to other options. But there are some other lessons you kind of got along the way with cash flow and with some of our guest speakers. What were some things that stood out to you earlier on in the program in regard to finances?
So definitely the first meeting when we learned what it was like to be under so much student loans and the consequences. Yes.
I wasn't debt free when we first started, right?
Yeah. How much?
I started out with almost about 96,000, but when I started with you, we were probably at like 25 or so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, Miss Letford is debt free. I'm gonna steal that now. So she's definitely the person to come to. Mm-hmm. When we first started, the first meeting was a shock because I did not know that there were so many people out there. I don't want to say tricking, but when you don't know what you're getting yourself into and you're being deceived into thinking that you're getting free money, I feel like that's a little manipulative.
And that's really one of the things that I do, and one of the things that the program does is just really to give you guys the tools to be able to think, right? And to be able to weigh information, because there are a lot of people out there that are betting on your ignorance in certain areas, and they're looking to profit from them. So the other thing is you purchased a car.
Yes, I did!
She's very excited about her car.
I am.
So when I met you, you were 10th grade or then 11th grade and unemployed, but then you found employment and you got some financial footing in education. And so what really put you on the track to save up for your car?
Okay, so when I first met Miss Letford, I was unemployed, and then I realized, well, my family is low income, so we did need money at the time. We were going through a tough time, and my mom had just lost her job, so I wanted to help out, and that's part of the reason why I got into Chipotle, why I got into the workforce. And afterwards, I realized that I needed to figure out a way to spend my money. I needed to budget, which is why I came to Miss Letford. And Miss Letford told me that it was nice that I was saving up my money and trying to help my family, but that I also needed to set a goal for myself to keep me motivated. And so after, when my mom kind of got on her feet, I started saving for my car. That was my short-term goal, to be able to buy my own car. And at first, I was just saving money. So Miss Letford came to me, but I wasn't really saving anything, because what would happen is that I would see something and I would be like, oh, that's nice, and I would buy it. Or, oh, I can use that, I'll save for that another time. I'll save for my car another time. Or it was such a large amount that I needed to save up for my money that I didn't realize that how much I actually needed to spend, or how much I actually needed to save. So that's when I went to Miss Letford and I was like, I really want to learn how to budget. And Miss Letford taught me how to budget, and she gave me the David Ramsey allocated spending plan that I modified to adjust to my own finances. So after I set my short-term goal to buy my car, and I realized, wow, I'm doing a lot of spending that shouldn't be happening here.
That's what you start to see.
Yes, I realized where my money was going in. Before, my money was going out, money was coming in, and then I didn't know where it was going out, but I knew it was going out. So, and then it would be 2 weeks from there, and then I realized I had no money, so I was basically living paycheck to paycheck.
Like most of America.
Like most of America, and that's not a good thing. So, and it was stressful, not knowing where my money was going, or knowing that it was going out, and I didn't know where it was going and how much of it was going.
And the fact, I just want to point in the fact that you're now 16, 17?
Yeah, 17.
So you're 17 now, and you have the basic principles that a lot of 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, even 40-year-olds don't have down. How do you see this projecting for the rest of your adult life?
Yeah, well, it has deeply impacted me and my family, because as soon as I found out about how to budget, I talked to my mom about if she budgets. And my mom had a similar flow of money going on, where she had money coming in and money going out, and not really knowing where it was going out. So we're a family of 4, so I have 2 other brothers, and so I also explained to my brothers that we need to learn how to budget, because sometimes we want things, and if we save, we'll be able to get those things, but if you don't save now, then you won't be able to get those things later. So it not only affected me, but my family. And I definitely feel like it taught me something that a lot of people take for granted, financial literacy. A lot of people don't know, especially coming from my background. Yeah, coming from my background. So I definitely see myself growing, and now I'm getting into learning about the stock market. Now we're learning about the stock market, so we're always trying to grow.
And investments, that's our next thing as well, because so am I. I'm right there with you on that one. Okay, and so you bought a used car.
Yes, I did.
And I remember driving you home one time, and for some reason needing to explain the condition of my current car.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't want you to think that I'm like super duper broke or something. I'm driving this car because my husband and I are working on being debt free. And then I said, oh, by the way, you know when you buy a brand new car that it does what? Or do you remember what I
explained? It goes down in value immediately after you drive it off of the lot, the dealership lot.
And do you remember what you said to me? I'll never forget it. I said, so I said, by the way, you know that it loses so much value, and you should get a nice used car because it doesn't go down as quickly. And and then you're like, see, no one tells us this.
Oh yeah, I did. I remember that. I remember. Yes.
And that's why I started the program, because no one tells us this stuff, and including myself. And what just happened at that moment was a total trajectory change in your mind, in your mindset, in the way that you see transactions and you see things. So that really stuck with up with me. And the fact that you saved, right, if I can say this, $6,000. I know many adults who don't have $6,000 in a savings account or reached a goal of saving that. And it will change your life and your future family's lives and your grandchildren, people who aren't even here yet. And this mindset shift will travel on through generations.
And it definitely has. My friends as well, they'll be like, oh, Brenda, let's go out to eat. And I'll be like, oh, I can't. I'm past my limit now. And they'll be like, what? Like, what do you mean you can't? And I was like, oh, well, I budget. And I also got my other friends now to budget their money because they got employed, and then they didn't like how they were having money going out and not knowing where it was going either. So now we all budget, and now we have days where we go out, days where we spend money, days where we save money.
That's good. Yeah. See, and that was the whole purpose. If you look at the brochure, it's like, okay, I'm teaching you guys, but it's not just for you to hoard the information, but for you to go out and almost like a network, and
Yes.
how information flows in and out of the network, and going back to networking, right? Yay, that's wonderful. And it's not about like starving yourself from fun. It's about regulating and making
Right.
sure that the fun isn't having you. You should be having fun. in a controllable, manageable way. Yay!
Going back to your car, my mom also drives an old car, so no shame.
No shame.
So, yes.
Hey, we're debt free though.
Yes. So my mom also drives an old car, but I was surprised to see Miss Letford. And how old is your car?
1999.
1999 Toyota
Nissan
Corolla. Oh,
Sentra.
Nissan Sentra.
Those are good cars.
If they last you that long. So when she told me, I was completely mind blown, because these are not things that no one goes around telling you how to spend your money, and it's kind of a taboo subject sometimes. People that have money don't like to tell other people how they get it, and that often seems to be the case. Or sometimes it's just that you're not connected with those people, and you don't know how to be financially literate. So once I found out that a car goes down in that much value once it's driven off the lot, I knew that I did not want to put myself in that situation of buying a new car and having the pressure of making that monthly payment
For so many people sign up for 5 years.
Yeah, and even more. And
There's
what if there were something to happen where I wouldn't be able to pay that amount off?
Yeah. You're basically you're assuming that the 5 years are going to be like the way they are or better.
Oh, and then after I learned about the interest rate, I was completely sold on buying a used car, because I definitely did not.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how much. I know people. Okay, so recently I found out this is a student loans, but so for some people, one of my friends, the student loans, they freeze, but then she still has to continue paying that interest.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not even paying her loan off, but she's only paying the interest off.
Money just gone.
Money gone.
Welcome to real life. And if you have no clue what those things are, they can get you for as much as possible. And yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to have met Miss Letford and realized this before I bought my car. But when I had actually gone, when I was going through the buying car process, my friend was buying his car, so I kind of got to go through the process of buying a car through him also, because I went with him to the dealership when he was test driving the new cars and getting rates on how much the car would cost. And I was there when he actually bought the car from the dealer and realized how much of the interest rate was actually how much of the interest rate was attached to the price of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And how much more he would have to pay every month just for the interest.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely scared me away from this position.
Especially if you have no credit, or if your credit isn't stellar, they can really get you. And when you go to the lot, they want you to focus on the monthly payment. What's the monthly payment that you can afford? Whereas a person with a wealth mindset, you focus on the total price.
Right.
And that's how they get you. If you can only afford $200 a month, then we will stretch it out for 7 years. You know, if you can afford more, then we'll push it in for 3 years. And I highly recommend buying a used car just straight out the gate, not putting it on payments. But if you have to put it on payments, you shouldn't go longer than 3 years out, and you should fight for the best interest rate as possible, because that's just money to the bank. Awesome. Well, I just wanted to share Brenda's story. I just wanted to share the impact that Alumni360 and the mentorship of the group and our speakers has had on her. She is just starting her story, even though you've been with us for 3 years. Tomorrow, or your graduation day, the first day of your adult life, and you're heading out into the real world, I think, with more tools for you.
Definitely.
For more tools for her to live her best life. And that's what Alumni360 is about, giving these kids the tools that they can use to make the best choices and the best decisions and build the best networks so they can live their best life. So we will see you next time on Alumni360 TV. Bye-bye. TV, I like that!
Yeah, awesome.